When I first went in the military, and I went in around 9/11. I ended up in Iraq twice. First time I came back, I noticed something different about my country. I love my country to death. The second time I came back, it was just like I don't recognize my own country anymore. Things have changed so much.
They just had a big university do a study. The United States is the 6th worst police state in the world. England's the 5th worst. I mean, there's only North Korea and a few others ahead of us now. People don't realize, folks, that on the scale, we're as bad as it gets. Stay there. Stay there. I want to let you be able to finish. We got Senator Nancy Shaefer coming up in a moment. I meant to get to this story. Scientists arrested for smuggling vials used in Ebola research in the U.S. Then I saw the New York Times article we're linked to up on Infowars.com. I already knew it, but the photos of Homeland Security training the Cub Scouts in paramilitary uniforms with submachine guns to hunt down U.S. veterans. And, of course, they put the veteran in a bad light, but the villain's always a veteran. You got to kill him. It just blew me away, and I went into a tirade for 20 minutes, so we're behind. But Tony, a veteran that the Boy Scouts are training to hunt down, is in New York. You were talking about coming back to your country and not being able to recognize it. The reason the United States is rated by major university studies as the number 6 police state on the planet, number 1 being North Korea, and England's number 5, I want to be sure about that. I had that article yesterday, I never got to it. I read it, but in fact, guys, it's in the stack. And the stack, show people the stack here. This is 3 days. This is how much news comes in here, how much gets dumped on my desk, how much I bring in. This at the end of the week will be cleaned off. We got to get a filing system for this, but then we got to have like 2 people, 3 people just to go through all this when I need something. I mean, this is insane. Today's stuff is all right here. Anyways, the point is that once they say we can secretly arrest you and secretly hold you and torture you, even if it's not implemented fully, the next step is total tyranny. So that's why we've now become one of the number 1 police states in the world. And now they're announcing, oh, guess what? Homeland Security wasn't for the foreign Muslims or Arabs, and taking their rights is wrong. But the point is they knew it would be popular. It was all really for you. See, what you thought was for somebody else is for you. It's for me. So finishing up, Tony, you went to Iraq twice, and when you talk to other vets, are they waking up? Because the vets I talk to are all waking up.
Yeah, quite a few of my friends are definitely waking up. What definitely woke up a few of my close vets friends is that I'm a warrant officer. I was a warrant officer. I flew an Apache. I had missiles that could kill thousands of people in my control. I come back here to try to get a handgun permit, and I was denied. 2, 3 other the guys that I speak to online that I try to keep in touch with, they still are trying to apply for a handgun permit, and they can't even get them. So when you go on about they're not letting us military officers get guns, they're not. I mean, I just don't understand how they can let us turn around and have missiles, access to missiles, but then when we go to apply for a handgun for our own protection in our own home, we get denied.
No, I know. God bless you, sir, and I appreciate your call. Most people accuse me of exaggerating. It is the opposite in almost every case. I have studied the thousands of pieces of data coming in, and I can officially tell you, and we even have mainstream news admitting large portions of it, that they are phasing in not allowing veterans to own firearms. Now, you've seen the DHS report saying you're the main target in the enemy. You got the Boy Scouts training with machine guns to come kill you, right out of Nazi Germany, right out of Soviet Russia. I mean, right out. I mean, they're going down every type of tyranny there is and doing it. And it was all set up decades ago. It doesn't matter if it's George Bush or Barack Obama. The agenda's the same, but it's all coming to a head under Obama. He's their closer, as George Humphrey has said eloquently here on air. I mean, absolutely. He is the closer. He is the guy that's doing all of this. So it just absolutely boggles my mind and makes my head spin that this is going on. And there is no doubt. Remember, Clinton tried it in 2000 right before he left office. There was the article about 86,000 vets put on a list not be able to own guns, and they wouldn't say why. And now the head of the White House, chief of staff, says, we're going to put you on a no-gun list, like a no-fly list. And then now they've introduced the bill saying we'll secretly say you can't own guns, and the Attorney General can ban any guns he wants. Just give him the power. It's happening. British reporters for one of the biggest newspapers in the world, London Guardian, goes to Greece and tries to photograph a huge hotel with our leaders illegally meeting in it to set policy, Logan Act, and they come and arrest him twice. They don't care if he's with one of the top 10 papers in the world. None of that matters now. All right, I'm going to shut up and go to our guest. Now, I saw a YouTube video of her giving a speech, and in 5 minutes, she boiled everything down I try to explain about the CPS and the bounties on taking kids and how there's no due process. She's State Senator 50th District. Senator Shaefer serves a constituency in 8 counties that make up 50th District in Georgia. She's got a long, illustrious career out there fighting corruption. She's also the head in her state of the Eagle Forum. And so she now joins us, and we appreciate her standing up eloquently and fighting this. And so we appreciate Senator Shaefer for coming on. Nancy, it's good to have you here with us.
Thank you. It's good to be on with you. I appreciate all you're doing.
Thanks for holding while I was ranting for 5 minutes about the DHS document saying veterans are the #1 threat to Homeland Security. Yeah. Were you aware they're training the Boy Scouts for gun confiscation?
Well, I've heard that they are training boys. I didn't know that it's Boy Scouts.
Yeah, it's Boy Scouts, school groups, public school groups. This is just one. What do you think of all the new documents coming out demonizing veterans on a separate issue?
Oh, it's awful. It's just awful. It's unconstitutional and it's wrong, and you just can see the direction that we're headed.
I got to be honest with you, Senator. I mean, I knew the globalists were evil, but it's even hard for me to believe they're this bold.
Yes, it is.
I mean, training 14-year-olds to go after the military. I mean, that's right out of East Germany.
That's right. This is that community service that we're hearing all about.
Absolutely.
But it certainly has a different definition, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. Ma'am, I'm going to try to just sit back and shut up because I'd like you to break down, but with a little bit more time, what you gave in that speech. I know you've given a lot, but I saw this particular speech of you, I believe, before the Eagle Forum, really laying out the facts of just how unconstitutional and Kafkaesque the CPS is.
Right. Well, it is unconstitutional, and I'm sure you have many listeners that know that children are being taken away from their parents in a ruthless kind of behavior by caseworkers and social workers and investigators, and the bureaucracy is very huge. That also includes lawyers and judges and therapists and others who take these children from their parents without a cause. And of course, we know that money is being made because of this, and I'm convinced, without a shadow of a doubt, that the parents across this country need to be warned of the dangers of the Child Protective Services nationwide. You want me to just continue on, don't you?
Sure, Senator, lay it out.
Well, the Department of Child Protective Services has become a protected empire that we see going on around us, and it's built on taking children and separating families. As a matter of fact, I could throw in here now that it appears to me that the family is going to have to be destroyed in order for the one world government to completely develop. But this is the taking of children by a protected empire, and it's and this is not to say today that there are not those children who are really being abused, who need to be removed from the wretched situations that they may be in.
But it needs to be done through due process.
Yes, that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about the families that are having children removed from them with no cause, and then there is no due process available to them after this has happened. And in one county in my district, I had 37 families brought together one Saturday morning in the library to allow them to, without any press and without any Child Protective Services pressure there, to tell their stories. And it was absolutely unbelievable to hear these parents single dads, single mothers, telling their and other parents telling their stories of how their children had been picked up in the middle of the night, off of the school buses, out of schools, out of hospitals, even while they are nursing, and these families had never seen those children again. You have never seen such agony, such suffering, and such crying. And we had 50 families standing outside the door that were not allowed to come in because we already had 37 families inside. It was truly just seeing the work of the Gestapo coming against these families and taking their children from them, never to be seen again. It was very, very enlightening, that day was, when we saw what was happening in this one Child Protective Services department in one county in my district in Georgia. And not only that, but they had a separate business going on.